Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Another game of interplanetary I Spy going on here. Back to the moon and again back to Apollo 8. Apollo 8 really is full of some crazy stuff. And today I'm going to try and fit in these three different images here, okay? And there's anomalies in each of these, of course. Some of them may be down to image damage, but most of them I think are in the image, as we will see in a minute. Okay, so links will be down below as usual. So you can check these yourself and you can zoom in and have a look. Before we start, I'll just show you this. I mean, this is what I do. I clip out the area in question, where I think that there's something unusual, for instance, like here. And then I just add loads and loads of contrast, okay? Because these images are quite bleached out and there's not a lot of definition and shadow in there, okay? So on this particular program, I've got lots of presets that I've already set up for contrast, and you have to go in pretty heavy, minus 30 brightness and plus 30 contrast, okay? That's what I use a lot. And that really brings stuff out. Straight away, bang, you can see shapes. And in this image, that was raw before, of course, now it's been enhanced. You can see this thing. And what look like some buildings down here and a great big sort of arch shaped sort of structure. Okay, let's go in a bit heavier. This probably will be too dark if I go that dark again. Let's go -5 plus 5. Okay, that's just a bit harder. Okay, so there we go, it's there. That's all I've done to the image, nothing else, okay? But of course, to make this stand out in a video, I usually I use the clarify tool. Where's the clarify tool? Adjust. It's in there. There we go. Okay, and this will bring it out even better. Bang! And now you can see this coming out. If you use it too much, the picture will break up. Okay, well that basically shows you how I do this stuff. It's really, really simple. Anyone can do it with the simplest image editing software. You don't need anything particularly amazing to do it with, okay? You don't even need Photoshop. There's lots of other free stuff out there you can use, okay? And of course, if I'm going to put this in a video, I will brighten that up more to make it show up. And also when I'm editing the video, I tend to brighten the images in the video as well. And that makes them stand out, okay? So that really is about all I do. And sometimes I use the highlight tool just to highlight where some of these lines already are. See that line there? I would go around that. There. That's probably too hard, yeah, just to show that shape, just to make it show up. That is already there, okay? There's it before I've added it, and I'll just add that back in. There we go. Now that would highlight the shape. Now, of course, normally I would do it a lot more carefully than that, but that gives you an idea of how to bring out some of these geometrical shapes and structures that are in some of these craters on the moon, okay? Right, so let's quickly get on with this because there's a lot to get through here. Okie doke. Right, first of all, crater mass 1. Okay, this is the one I was just showing you. I'm going to show you the raw image. There's the raw image. Now if you let your eyes adjust just for 20 seconds, you can see that shape which I just showed you a minute ago. Okay, see that curve? And it's sticking up. It's not in the crater kind of lying down flat. This is sticking up vertically. So whatever this is, I really don't know, but it's very strange. I'll show you the enhancement. There's a basic contrast enhancement, okay? I've gone in quite hard and brightened it a bit more. You can see that shape. Now that, to me, doesn't look like a normal crater. This is, well, it looks very, very artificial. And you have these kind of rectangular structures here, okay? Now, I don't know how big this is, but it's very, very large, like a lot of these craters are. Most of these craters, these larger ones, are sort of miles across. So that gives you some kind of idea of how big this is, okay? Here's a further enhancement. And actually it looks better if you sit back, like I've done here. And you can see it kind of more clearly, okay? If you get in too close, it breaks up. But there's this kind of square thing here. There's a darker structure which looks difficult to make out the exact shape of, and you have this large, almost door-shaped structure, but that kind of goes back to the edge of the crater here, okay? You've got the edge of the crater coming around, assuming it is a crater, of course. It probably was once, yeah, but I mean, it's just insane. So, okay, there's that one. I mean, here's the raw image. Okay, and you can see it in the raw image here. I looked at that crater and I thought, what the hell is that? You can see that arch shape, like a door shape almost there, and it's sticking up. Okay, so it's definitely there. You know, a lot of people say we never went to the moon. A lot of people don't think we landed on the moon. I think we did, as I've said before. But these were taken before we landed on the moon, so that argument doesn't count for these videos. This is why I'm concentrating on Apollo 8 and 10 and the earlier Apollo missions, because there's not only is there a lot in them, more so than you would find in Apollo 11 or 12 or 14 or whatever. But because this is before they supposedly landed on the moon, no one can then turn around and say, well, they didn't land on the moon. Well, so what if? So what? So I don't care if you think that, because these were before that. So that's the argument here. Okay. If you want to believe they didn't land on the moon, fine. We do know they faked some of the footage, so that's probably as good as factual now. You know. But a lot of people out there keep saying Stanley Kubrick filmed this and he filmed that, but there's no actual proof of this. So yes, I digress. Let's carry on. This one here was really cool. Now, I just spent the last hour or so looking for this image because I had it wrongly labelled in the folder, and I thought it was from Apollo 11. So I went through all the Apollo 11 images, which took well over an hour, and then decided to go back through Apollo 8 and found it in Apollo 8. So there we go. Well, let's do this one first. Okay, I'm going to call this crater mass 2. In fact, there's two anomalies here. This is the image. You've got to flip this one round, which is easy enough to do in your viewer, just like that. And there's a strange thing here in the image. Now, this may be a scratch or a dead insect that stuck to the image before it was actually scanned, because it looks very foreign to the sort of surroundings. It's really weird. I don't know about that. To me, it looks like a damaged photograph that was scanned here. Often you get bits stuck to the image like we have here. Bits of crap, bits of paper, hairs, all sorts of odd little marks in the image. There aren't too many in this one, but that to me looks like a scratch or damage to the actual original photograph that this was scanned from. But I could be wrong, okay? I'll show you a close-up of that, incidentally. That's been enhanced slightly. It doesn't look like it's kind of part of the background or joined to it. It kind of looks separate, which leads me to believe that is image damage, okay? So no further ado there. But also in this image further down, in this larger crater here, to what I think it's down here somewhere, it's from the same image, let's get rid of that, sorry, is this. If you look in this large crater, there's this very strange bright structure sticking up here, okay? And there's this area, and I'll flick through and show you what I mean. When you enhance it and push the contrast up, this comes up. And I thought, what the hell's that? Is it some kind of weird tower system going on here? And there's some random weird stuff. I mean, I appreciate this is very pixelated, but there's some weird stuff here. Just here. Now, of course, when you start pushing these images too hard, they do start to break up, and you've got to, once they start doing that, then that's as far as you should go, basically, because you don't get any more detail from the image. They just start to break up, and you're just getting loads of JPEG artifacts, and you're kind of enhancing stuff that isn't necessarily there after a certain amount of time, and that's just as far as I've taken it, really. I've gone a bit brighter here, but it looks like some kind of weird tower sticking up, and it does show in the raw image. And there's this weird stuff here, which looks like some kind of factory, but only really the larger objects here are probably real. The rest of it is just random stuff that kind of looks symmetrical because of the way the JPEGs work, okay? And of course I use Gaussian blur in the image to start with, which helps with the blocky sort of JPEG crap. But if you start really pushing contrast, it's gonna break up, and this is the mistake a lot of people make. they've really pushed the contrast in the JPEG, and then it turns into kind of random spaghetti stuff like this, which is just probably JPEG artifacts. But this is definitely here, as is that. The rest of it, yes, it's just random stuff, okay? So it's only really the larger stuff you need to concentrate on, because the resolution is high on these images, but of course they're taken from quite a long way up, about 100 miles or something like that. And we're zooming in quite a long way, but these are very, very large areas. So this is probably miles across, this crater. So whatever this is here is very, very large, okay? And of course, I'll put all these in at the end of the video again, okay? So you can see them properly. Now, the last one was this one, which is my favorite one. This is also Apollo 8. This is Mag 13E, which is full of anomalies. If you want to check out Mag 13E, Apollo 8 on the Apollo archive, it's well worth going through. And as I said before, go for the ones where you can see a bit of the horizon, because that helps you orientate yourself to the image, and you can almost turn it around a bit, okay? Because often they're looking straight down onto the surface, and you're not going to really see any stuff sticking up because you're looking from above. You want to be looking across the moon, and you're more likely to find something sticking up and something interesting because of the way you're looking at it, okay? So that one is here, number 3, okay? So of course there will be more close-ups in at the end of the video, as always, okay? Now here's the raw clip. Actually, I'll show you the raw image first, because it's a really cool one, this. There's the raw image. That's as it comes. And you've got this very large kind of double crater. You've got a big crater here with another kind of crater on the edge of it, okay? That's cool. So what I did is I got the image and I enlarged it and rotated it to the left, okay? Just to straighten it out. So now the horizon looks kind of straight. That gives us a better aspect. And I was looking down here and I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. Great image, lots of detail. And there's this huge, dark, kind of almost square thing here. And I thought, hang on a minute, what the hell is that? Can you see that? Now, often with these images, the buildings and structures are very bright, but often they're not. Often they seem very dark, and you can only see them by looking around them. In other words, the lighter material around them or behind them shows them up, okay? So often they're really dark like this, and you can see the one edge here and like the top of it here, and it comes down to here. Difficult to see, I know, but you do get used to it with these Apollo images. I'll show you the basic contrast enhancement there, okay? And you can see it more now. See that? Just there, okay? Then I'll show you an enhancement. This is a clip where I've clipped it out, and I've really pushed it and highlighted this more with the contrast, okay? And I've sharpened it up a bit here to try and get some more detail. You're never going to get a massive amount of detail here because it does pixelate, but you can see that that's sticking up and it looks like some kind of intelligent structure. I don't know what it is. It looks like, could it be a bunker? Could it be, what could it be? I don't know. I really don't know. But it's very, very large, as all these things are, okay? That was really cool. I like that one. So we have a whole bunch of stuff here. That was the coolest. Let me show you the whole thing again. There we are, okay? I've really pushed it, the contrast on this. And you can see this is a normal crater, the edge of a normal crater behind, you can see. And then you have this thing here, okay? Sticking right out the side of this crater. Massive, massive building. Don't know how big it is. This is, again, probably 3 or 4 miles across. I mean, this thing here is not a mile across the actual structure, but it's very, very large. I mean, it's hundreds of meters across from one side to the other. So massive stuff. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Do keep an eye open for next videos coming up. There'll be more Mars stuff, of course, but there may be more 3D stuff from Mike Zoetmolder, who's been doing some illustration work for me. So keep your eye open for that. Thank you for watching, everybody. Links down below as usual. I'll see you soon.